So today we are here with Samir Khan, and this is going to be quite different because usually we talk mostly about products and so on. But these next 7 days are going to be all about social media and how to leverage them in 2019. And I mean, Samir Khan is like the best person to talk about social media because he's a founder of SocialChamp, a social media scheduling tool, and it can do a lot of amazing stuff as well. So guys, if you have any questions about social media, Samir is the right guy to reach out to, but you can ask us questions today in today's webinar below in the comments or here on Zoom. And today's webinar is quite interesting because we're going to talk about what you are doing wrong on social media. And I think now, without further ado, we can just jump right into it. So Samir, nice, you made it.
Hello.
Nice to see you here.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Finally.
Finally, this is going to be so exciting, man. Thanks a lot for taking the time to do this. And I was so excited to to pick your brain a little because this is gonna be fun. All right, so Samir, tell me a little bit about you because we're gonna be seeing each other like for quite some times in the next 7 days. So it's gonna be good if we get to know each other, and actually our viewers as well, our PitchGrounders who are already joining. Nice to see you guys all.
Got it. So I'm Samir, and I run a startup called SocialChamp. And by degree, I'm a computer scientist. I have a degree in computer science. We're geeks. We create softwares. And then I went into social media marketing world, and I hacked into the growth hacking stuff. And that's how I actually went into this stuff. And so this is my fourth startup, 3 startups. We tried those startups, they didn't work out. This is my fourth startup, which is SocialChamp. It's doing very good. I was also a visiting faculty professor in the university in Pakistan. Then I started focusing on the product itself. And I have been to Silicon Valley, invited by Guy Kawasaki in social media conference meetings, and met a lot of influencers and found their problems and pains. So we have been really, I've been a coach and incubator in Pakistan called the Nest.io. I try to mentor people, and I'm associated with a lot of programs where we train and educate people on social media. So yeah, that's my introduction.
I love it. So you had 3 startups in the past, and SocialChamp is the one which finally made it. What do you think? What makes like this startup so special, and why did you fail at the previous ones?
That's a big question. It has a separate talk on it, but I think SocialChamp was a company that happened by an accident. We never wanted it to be a company. It was a side project. We worked on weekends. We wanted a tool that actually repeats a post multiple times, and we created that tool for our own selves. And people started loving this product, and eventually people started using the product, and we said, you know what, our third startup is not doing good. Let's just stop that product and focus on this product that people actually love, and we also use this product. So that's how we started doing SocialChamp.
That's great. That's great. So right now, how many people are working on SocialChamp?
Oh, there are about 8 to 9 people who are fully working on SocialChamp. We've been working for, I think the first line of code that we wrote was in 2016. It has been like 3.5 years old. And we have been really pivoting, making the product better, adding features, making it stable. Actually, there are a lot of tools out there which are unstable, a lot of problems and bugs. So we have spent a lot of time trying to make it concrete and, like bulletproof.
I see. So you're working in SocialChamp since 2016. Now, I know that you want to talk about it more like in the upcoming slides. But what's going on with you and Guy Kawasaki? How did it start?
Oh, it is in my talk. It just happened with the power of Twitter. I tweeted Guy that, we are working on the product on an idea that you shared in your book, The Art of Social Media. And that is how it started. That is how he started tweeting me back. And that is exactly how he started using the product. So the way we approach Guy and how we talk, it's in this webinar, it's in the session, and you will probably see it.
All right, all right. I know that you're going to be talking about Twitter as well, and people are thinking that it's dead, but it's not. So I think I think we can jump right into it. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right. So please share your screen, and let's start with the first tip. So before you will set it all up for everyone who are joining right now, we are here today with Samir Khan, who is the founder and CEO of Social Champ. And today we are talking about what you're doing wrong on social media. And Samir put together 10 tips which help you to make your social media strategy bulletproof in 2019. So make sure you will stick around and ask questions if you have any, because this is going to be really interesting. All right, thanks a lot.
Awesome. So let's start. I'm Samir. I give the introduction. I run Social Champ. Okay. So the first thing that I want to share to everybody is know what excites you. You know, so there are two kinds of happiness in the world. One is temporary happiness, that you want to have big iPhone, new iPhone, big house, big car, right? And once you have that, after a week, that happiness is down. It goes away, right? The phone stays on the couch. The excitement is gone.
Oh yeah,
There's
totally.
happiness. The other excitement is basically when you wake up every morning and say, you know what, I want to code for Social Champ. I want to do something crazy, and I want to wake up every morning doing that stuff. And this is something where people it comes from inner realization, self-reflection, that what actually you like to do, instead of, everybody starting a startup. Now I want to also start a startup, you just do it because others are doing it. So that's not something that excites you. So on social media, you have to really know, why are you on social media, right? Is it because you're just for the likes? Is it because you want to give more content to people? Is it because you want to share something that is bullshit and people actually start sharing it, and then you get negative feedback and you think you're promoting yourself, right? So there are some moments of fame. You will always see that people who are very authentic, they generate content, and that is evergreen content. Whenever they generate content, it lives forever. And there are people who just generate content for the sake of creating content. Some content goes up, some goes down, they copy, they plagiarize, whatever, but you have to know what excites you, right? And just to give you a brief idea of what it means to take a risk, right? What do you mean by taking risk on social media? Let me share a picture of myself. When I was a kid, but I used to be in school and I dressed up like this, right? And there was a play which I had to do in the school, right? And we did crazy stuff, in school when we were in our younger generation. Next, I became a sultan, like a sultan guy, I acted like I'm the prince. Now, this is the risk we took, this is the risk we took when we were a kid. And we didn't care about what the world thinks about us, right?
That's right.
But now on social media, what we do is that we fear that, if I share this post, how will the world react? If I share a cat's picture on LinkedIn, how would people say, right? Because cats belong to Instagram, they don't belong to LinkedIn. So I will never experiment on LinkedIn, right? I think that's the wrong concept. You just have to try everything on social media. Just be authentic and take risk. Do not be defined by the rules, right? Anything that you see famous is because somebody did something creative and they broke the rules and did something different. So on social media, take risks and, be authentic, take risks, do something that nobody has done, and do not fear what people have to say. Okay, if you're true to yourself, you have to just do it right.
No, I totally agree, Samir. Like, authenticity is totally the key, and I speak from my experience when I was doing my own personal account on Instagram, and like when I was starting, I sort of was watching all the other accounts, what they were doing, and I was checking their most performing content, and then just recreating it in my way. But it got like average engagement. It wasn't something really special, right? But then I created the video really without thinking, right? I was outside, I was walking, and like in my mind, I got this idea that I can talk about why I'm not in the relationship, right? Something quite personal, and I just created this video. And it was like on a first take, because it was from me, it was authentic. and it was my most successful video ever, right? Because
Wow.
yeah, because I shared so many things. I went like one layer deeper inside like what is considered private in social media, and it just went right from me, like this authenticity. And so many people like reach out to me, told me, hey, I see the same way, I'm finally glad that somebody said it. So since then I'm just posting like authentic content. So this advice is pretty impressive. So Samir, but this is like more for personal brand content, right? So that I'm Jakub, I want to promote myself on Instagram or LinkedIn. Um, but what about brands? Can brands be authentic on Instagram?
Yeah, they can be very authentic. Let's say if you have a restaurant, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't always post about best deal, best offer, best something like that, all discounts. What you do is you give 80% content and 20% you talk about yourself, right? And to be authentic, let's say if you're a restaurant, what you can do is you can do live videos from the kitchen. You can
Mm.
introduce chefs. You can introduce chefs. Who's cooking your product, right? Who's
Mm-hmm.
cooking the fish that you're eating? How clean your kitchen is? What sauces you put, right? And you can go more crazy. You can go, what? If you don't have a restaurant in Turkey, right? What you can do is you can just say, best food in Turkey is this baklava, right? The sweet,
Yes.
right? And you can just give content that people will be happy to know. It doesn't have to be related to everything that you sell. Even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't sell pizza, just write it, that this is the best place to have good pizza, right? So it's all about providing value to the people and credibility. And once you earn that credibility, then people will take your discounts. I don't like a brand that always gives discounts. Take this discount, take this stuff from us, buy this stuff, take this stuff. Everything. If you just talk about yourself and discounts, I'm going to unfollow you, because
Yes.
there's no value for me to follow you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you can be authentic as a brand.
I mean, it all starts with self-awareness, even as a personal brand and even as a normal company. You need to know what your vision is, what are your core values, so you know what to communicate and what feels natural and authentic to you. Yeah. All right. Tell
Agreed,
us
agreed.
about this screenshot. This is interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, so if people troll you, if people make fun of you, what you can do is the comment is that hide the comment. On Facebook, just don't delete the comment, just hide the comment. So what
Mm.
hide does is that it hides it from your followers, but only the troll and his followers can actually see the comment. And Facebook algorithm is very different. If people comment on it, the post gets more engagement, right? The people
Mhm.
comment on it, like on it. So what I actually do is that I first hide a comment, and then I write to my troll, like, hey, why do you think this is bad? And he spams more, blah 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 blah, and I reply to him more so that I can get engagement on the
Exactly.
post. Up, right? So you need to love your trolls, okay? If they hate you, you should really thank them for hating you, because you're promoting content. And that is what e-magazines do, right? They post something that is so controversial and people start hating it, and the people who comment, they don't know that actually they're promoting the product or the post by actually commenting on
Yeah, I
it, right?
mean, in marketing, like the golden like rule of thumb is that the worst thing you can do is be in the middle, right?
Yeah,
Just try to be more on the left or more on the right or more on the left, because you will always have haters, and believe it or not, these
yeah,
haters are talking about you
yeah.
more than people who love you. So it's always too good to stay your ground and reply to these trolls.
Exactly. All right, so my next point is repeat content. Now, this is a strategy that is called the art of repeating, in which it works on Twitter very well. So on Twitter, what people don't do is that they don't repeat their content, right? And on Twitter, the life of a tweet is basically just 5 minutes, and that's very much I'm saying. Okay, if you tweet something, the chances of people reading the tweet is just within 5 minutes. If they read it, they read it, right? Otherwise, it goes under the timeline, because it's all based on time, right? So
Hmm.
what repeat content does is that the concept is that you repeat a tweet multiple times. So my tweet goes 4 times with 8-hour difference. Okay. And what happens
Wow.
is, when the first tweet goes, it waits for 8 hours and then retweets my first tweet automatically. and then wait for 8 hours and retweets the second tweet automatically. Now, some people say, you know what, we don't want to retweet our first tweet because people might see that small name that you retweeted, so they want to delete the tweet. So I also tried doing this, like posted once, waited for 8 hours, deleted my first tweet, posted again the same duplicate tweet again, and then deleted the second tweet and posted again. So how it actually works is I use a tool, again, I use Social Champ. That's why we created this product. That in this software, I'm just saying that I want to repeat a tweet 4 times with 8-hour difference, okay? And I selected, that it needs to be retweeted. So what the software will do, it will just post it once, wait for 8 hours, retweet. And what we do is crazy is that we save analytics on every action. So this is a brand, Success Magazine, which actually repeated a tweet 5 times. Now you can see on the first post that they did, it got them 90 clicks, okay? These are 90 clicks. And when they repeated the tweet 5 times, they got 364 clicks. You know, so general IQ, what is better, 90 clicks or 364 clicks, right?
I
You
see.
decide.
So the key behind this, why it all works, is it because only the different times you're posting it?
Yeah, it is the different time, because people at 1 a.m. can see it. People who wake up at 7 a.m. can see it. People who wake up late at 12 p.m. can see it. So it's just to cover all the time zones.
Okay. So especially on Twitter, you don't really need to worry that people will feel overwhelmed with the same post, right?
Yeah. But if somebody says you that you need to have a good life, that, you know, we keep spamming us, how is it possible that he sees a tweet at 1 a.m. and he sees the same tweet at 7 a.m. and he sees the same tweet at 3 p.m., you know, at 12 p.m. He needs to get a life, right?
Yeah,
like, how is possible that he sees my entire tweet? So this is what you have to do in Twitter.
That's interesting. That's really good advice. Like, I mean, it makes sense, like repeating posts, but I've never seen anyone like, not only big brands actually leveraging this strategy. Like not small brands, not SaaS businesses usually don't do this. They post once and that's it. So that's good.
Cool. And this strategy is by Guy Kawasaki. It's called The Art of Repeating. It's in his book. Again, now third point, don't ignore the outreach power on Twitter. A lot of people say that Twitter is dead. Twitter, there's no interaction. There are all bots on Twitter. How could we reach out to people on Twitter? So let me just share an example of what happened. You know, a guy posted on Twitter quiz that which of the book have you read? Which of his book have you read? I replied to a guy saying that, you know what, I finished The Art of Social Media and got gifted a new book called The Art of Start 2.0. Okay, guy said, thanks so much, right? Then I replied to guy saying that, you know what, I took your advice to repeat tweets to heart, and I wrote a piece of software that does that. And I had I had a test. You can see it's the test link, like socialchamp.herokuapp.com. It's a test link, and I just pasted that. And guy replied to that tweet saying, can you add a picture? Does it delete the previous tweet? And that is exactly when I came to know that he actually deleted the first tweet. And I said, you know what? And I didn't used to do that. And I was like, I told my founder that, you know what? We need to delete the first tweet. Wait for 8 hours and do like that. And then we did that. And then I replied to a guy again that, you know what, guy, I did this. But guy didn't reply, you know. So I took a screenshot of this whole conversation, emailed guy saying, you know what, guy, I did this, works now. And then guy started, liking the product. He started using the product. He started asking me the link. He told me to make Chrome extension, make an iPhone app. And that's how, we started, communicating, and the relationship grew stronger. So this is exactly what I did. Now, this is a practice I have. This is a practice I've done with a lot of influencers. Not many are as humble as Guy, but I've got on call with a lot of influencers through Twitter, and this is like people who you can't get through email, people who you can't get through, LinkedIn. Twitter works really well. You message them, you talk them politely. You just don't sell them something, okay? Like, buy this.
I totally understand, Samir, why it works, because like you gave Guy the biggest compliment that reader of his book can give him, right? You put so much time and effort to build it, and then you just wrote about it, right? So I did similar strategy on Instagram. That I'm listening to podcast, and I know that that this guy is really, I'm listening to podcasts. He's like hundreds of thousands of followers, and he's really into voice and all these technologies. So I haven't asked him, hey, what can I do for you? I sent him all the deliverables already done, and then he started posting it, and our app got traction, right? So
Wow.
I mean, it's not only about reaching out to the influencers on if it's Twitter or Instagram, but you need to know like what turns them on. And for
Exactly. What motivates them? Yeah.
so I mean, if you want to reach to influencer, just find what they're preaching, find their values, and build something interesting, something they hadn't seen before, and show it to them, and they will just get back to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you have to do. Good tip. All right.
So
So just
so
in
since then you are working with this guy.
yeah, we're just trying to get informally mentored by the guy, using the product, saying fix this stuff, create this stuff. So just in case you don't know, people don't know who Guy is. Guy is an author of, I think it's more 13 books. He had written one more book. He worked with Steve Jobs in Apple. He's a venture capitalist here, and then he started talking about Social Champ, promoting the product. Telling people that he uses Social Champ to post on social media, and training people on social media marketing world, and again giving a testimony that he loves the product and he uses it for all of his social media efforts. So that's how it happened from Twitter. And he invited me to Silicon Valley in a social media marketing world conference. I met him, met his family, had a dinner, and had a lot of fun. Like I met him 3-4 times on that day. He's
Samir,
really
you look like a typical startup founder. This hoodie, this is literally every startup founder in San Francisco, how I imagine them.
Yeah. You can't wear, ties and three-piece coat.
Yeah. That's amazing.
All right. So number 4 point. I have just 10 points, by the way, if people are getting bored,
Yeah, guys,
So,
guys, if you have any questions about anything we're talking about social media, feel free to ask. We had first question, will there be a recording? Yes, there will be a recording. You can watch it all on Facebook and on YouTube as well in upcoming days.
got it. All right. So LinkedIn. First, LinkedIn, the value of the life of a post is 10x of Facebook, right? Facebook's organic reach is going down, and LinkedIn's reach is going up. Like LinkedIn, Microsoft is putting a lot of effort on LinkedIn. Okay, so if you post content on LinkedIn, it has more life than Facebook's post. Okay, so there's a little hack that I don't know if people know, but what you can do on LinkedIn is that you go to settings and privacy. Okay, click on pick and choose, download your data, click on connections, and download that. Okay, in a few minutes, LinkedIn will email you your connections with a link, right? When you open the link, you will see the name, the first name, the last name, and email address, and the companies of all the people you're connected to on LinkedIn.
Do you see the date where you connected with them as well?
Yep, you see that.
Oh my God, this is so good.
Right? Yeah, so now if you're a marketing person, you would know this is a gold mine, okay?
This is a gold mine.
Yeah.
I mean, so many people have like LinkedIn's, they don't leverage, they don't use. And all you have to do is to get like new clients is just do this and reach out to them. Hey, we are connected on LinkedIn for a few years and we haven't had a chance to talk. Hi,
exactly,
my name is Jakub. Right? So.
Yeah. And you can find their positions, what they're working on, the companies. And so you can use email marketing tools like, Mailshake, Limlist, all those automation tools, feed this CSV file to that tool, and that actually it will do one-on-one email and write a very customized email. It will blast them one-on-one, and really this will have very good engagement, right? You can use those tools to automate this stuff. If I think few months ago, this strategy could be reversed also. Like if you had email address of people and you wanted to add them on LinkedIn, you just need to upload the CSV file, and LinkedIn would actually send them an email that Samir is trying to add you. Would you like to accept or not? But now that strategy doesn't work. LinkedIn closed it. But
I
you
wonder
just,
why.
well, because of us, marketing
Yeah, I mean,
guys.
marketers ruin everything, right?
Exactly. God save Instagram right now. All right. Speaking of Instagram, Instagram is Facebook's next Facebook, right? It's trying to be big. People or brands are, it's a must. Instagram, they have to be must on Instagram, and uh, hashtags. I just see that on Instagram there are hashtags, right? And there are different type of hashtags. I would like to just say that there are three kinds of hashtags on Instagram. One is very densely populated, like there are millions of posts on that hashtag. Second is like a medium-sized hashtag where there are like 10,000, 5,000 posts. And the other hashtag, which is low, which you could say there are 100, 200 posts on that hashtag, right? So the strategy is that what you do is that you post a picture, right? And you don't add hashtag on that. But on the first comment, you add hashtags, right? And people say that, post 5 hashtags, post 6 hashtags, post 15 hashtags, but the maximum hashtags that you can post on LinkedIn, on Instagram is 30 hashtags, okay? I just leverage all the 30 hashtags, to be honest.
I
And
mean,
what I do is
if it would ruin the reach, Instagram wouldn't allow it, like to
exactly. It just makes your post more searchable, okay? And the strategy of choosing your hashtag is that what I do is I just select 10 hashtags that are very densely populated, like there's a lot of traffic, but I know that my time on that post will be for just 5-10 minutes, it will be down. Then I choose 10 hashtags that are medium-sized hashtags, okay? Like they will stay for 2-3 hours. And then I choose my 10 hashtags that are like evergreen, like I create my own hashtags, or I just choose hashtags that are not very popular, okay? So I create a mix of 30 hashtags and post that in the first comment. I don't post that on the picture itself, because if you see this post, you can see it says Turkish sweets I love, especially baklava. Now, if I go to a famous, she's an actor, you can see the post. On the picture, you can see all of hashtags lined up, and people don't actually like reading all of hashtags like that because it looks like spam or something like it's too immature. So the first thing is you just need to put a beautiful content over there, like good text, enjoying food or dinner, and just hide your hashtags on the first comment.
Yes. I would dig deeper a little bit into the strategy you mentioned, that creating these 3 sets of hashtags. I know it's called staircase strategy, because basically you start with the small hashtags that are easy to rank for, right? Because on Instagram there is like discovery algorithm as well, and like you can go viral on Instagram. But if you will post just hashtags which has millions of photos, there's no way that you can compete with these big accounts. But what happens if you post hashtags with like, I don't know, 20,000 photos, or posts? It means that you are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yep, it works
All
fine.
right.
What
I'm sorry.
happened?
I must have lost it. So what did you hear last?
The strategy of two, three parts.
Strategy. Yeah, basically what you do is you start with the small hashtags, and the engagement from these hashtags will push you towards the more populated hashtags. So this strategy you can get up to the like really good numbers and good engagement. So start with small and go to the bigger ones as well. But we have a question from audience. From Yakin. Can you please show once again where to go on LinkedIn when I want to download the data?
Sure. What you have to do is go back to settings and privacy. First, you click on me, right? This pops up. Then you click on settings and privacy. Okay. Once you click there, you go to this screen, right? You go to basics. You click on download your data, right? You select one, which is pick and choose, right? And it's asking you what data do you need. So what I do is that I select my connections, right? I just need connection. I don't need messages. I don't need profile. I don't need anything else because there'll be a lot of data. Okay. So just click on connections and then click download archive. And once you do that, you will get an email from LinkedIn. From LinkedIn, you'll get the data with a link. So you click on this, and automatically the CSV file will be downloaded with this data.
Do we see email addresses even now?
Yeah, you see the email address right now. Yeah, you see it.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Cool. So let's go back to Instagram. All right, so there's a concept of banned hashtags on Instagram that came in between few months ago. It occasionally comes up. So the thing is that in order to know which hashtags are banned, what you need to do is that you need to just search that hashtag over here. And if you see the hashtag in suggestions by Instagram, it's not banned. If you see that it's not being showing up, it's banned, and Instagram somehow, decreases the reach of that Instagram hashtag, right? Previously, some people reported some hashtags that actually went down, but again, a few months later, they came back again. So it just keeps on changing. So make sure that, the hashtags that you're finding is actually searchable, and, Instagram is suggesting you that a hashtag.
Yes, yes. I know that like a few years ago, it was, you could really find really explicit content on Instagram as well, under very specific hashtags, but it's not possible now. Instagram is doing a really good job, like killing those dangerous hashtags. And I'm actually happy that Yakin is taking action already. Yakin is downloading the data from LinkedIn, and I believe he will let us know if it works. Let us know, Yakin.
Awesome. Great.
I like it.
All right, so do live videos and collaborations. I know people know this, but I haven't seen a lot of people collaborating with Instagram, like friends, like if I and you are friends, Jacob, we could just do an Instagram live right now and collaborate, so that my followers can see I'm with Jacob and your followers could see that you're with me, there's something that you can do on Instagram. A lot of people don't do this. It's a very good concept to collaborate with other influencers on Instagram. Other brands can co-market with this, and actually they can co-market one another with others on this strategy.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Instagram, you can do it. Yeah, these are the two platforms. So let's see like what happens with LinkedIn, which is currently like experimenting with live videos. So we will see. We have a question which is quite relevant right now from Kiran, and I will answer it. Actually, I will read it, and I hope that you will answer it, Samir. Have you guys tried repeating the content on Facebook? If yes, then what was the result?
Okay, that's a very good question. So in Social Champ, there is a way you can repeat posts on Facebook also. And we give users two options. First is, let's say you want to repeat a post on Facebook twice. And what we do is that we post once, wait for 8 hours. Users can either delete the first entire post, everything will be deleted, and post another one, or they could hide the first post from the timeline of users, right? The post stays, people stay, the comments stay, it's just hidden from your timeline, and we post another duplicate one. Okay, so what actually we experiment on Facebook is that a lot of brands actually buy bots. A lot of brands actually buy bots. So
like the bot likes, or what do you mean?
Yeah, they buy likes. Yeah, they buy likes. Right, exactly, right. And what also, even if they don't buy likes, if you post once on Facebook, it shows the strategy, the algorithm, how Facebook works is that it shows that post, let's say, just 1% or 2% of the people. Let's say 50 people actually see that content. Now, if those 50 people do not react, do not comment, do not share that post, Facebook is not going to share that to more people. It's going to kill the reach of that post, right? So the concept is that you post twice or thrice. The concept is that the 50 group of 50 segments of the people would be different. So maybe those 50 people do not comment, but maybe when you post again, someone in 50 audience could actually share that post, comment on it, or like on it. And then when they do it, it reaches to more people.
I
Okay.
see.
So what we actually do is that we repeat a post on Facebook. And let's say the third post that we shared actually took off very good. People started commenting on it, right? So what we do is we boost the third post. If you want to pay Facebook to boost the post, we do it on the third post, because if a post is doing good and you boost it, you don't have to pay a lot to reach more audience. But if a post is having 0 clicks and all that, you have to boost it a lot. So that's an total experimentation. If you're open this much experimentation, if you have time to manage all this, you can do it through Social Champ, or you can do it manually and see how it affects. But repeating does affect it. This is the concept behind repeating.
Yeah, so if you compare Twitter and if you compare Facebook, on Twitter, repeating posts is matter of the time when you are posting, and that's the reason why it works. But on Facebook, on the other hand, it's more about experimenting with the people this post is shown to, right? So first post might not work, second not as well, but then another batch of another people might work well. So yeah, these are differences. Great.
Yep. All right, so let's move to 6th point, which is Insta Stories. This is very well, like people know this. I have seen people not using a lot of locations on stories, on hashtags, because they're just on the go. They're too fast. Like they just want to share a story and just get done with it. If you want to reach Instagram story, if you want to reach more audience on Instagram story, use hashtag, use locations. It will just increase 3x or 4x the reach of it. It gets mentioned on different places. Like I used to get like 200, 300. When I started using hashtags and location, it just boosted to 900 reach by just using this strategy. Now, 7th is Google My Business. In 2019, when Facebook killed Google Plus, right? Now you have Google My Business. Now people don't use this, but it has a very good SEO benefit. We used to preach that use Google Plus before, because it was a product of Google, and Google search is Google. So, if you post on Google Plus, Google likes it. Now Google My Business is it. So if you post your stuff on Google My Business, Google will like you, and it will promote your website or link on Google search results. Okay, so 2019, use Google My Business, start posting on this product. You can use third-party tools, or you can do it manually, but you have to create your account on Google My Business and register your business over there.
Okay. And it's not the same like these local businesses on Google, right? Any business can register there.
Yeah, any business can register, but you need to have a location, I think.
Yes.
You need to have a location, registered location, so that you can be verified. And once you get verified, you can start posting all their pictures, products, and you have to keep on posting every week or once a week, because My Business suggests that you keep on posting. It's not like you just create and disappear.
Okay, so it's a place for companies and not for like freelancers, for example.
Yeah, kind of. Correct.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so this is the 8th point. Use third-party tools to schedule content. Whenever, if I want to eat in a restaurant, if I want to buy something from a brand, I would search on Google, I would search on social media, and if I would like to see if they're active on Facebook or Twitter or not. If I see a brand who have posted like 2 weeks ago on Twitter, who have posted 1 month ago on Facebook, I would probably think that this brand is dead. It's not very serious about their business. Okay, so even if you're super busy, use third-party tools to schedule content. There's Hootsuite, there's Buffer, there's Social Champ. I prefer Social Champ because I created Social Champ.
I wonder why.
That's a very tough question.
That's a tough question, right?
That's a very tough question. I'm going to answer that to you in a few seconds. Okay. But again, Social Champ is a social media automation tool where you can schedule content multiple times. In just 30 seconds, you can actually add accounts to Social Champ. all the profiles is old screenshot with Google Plus. It's not there right now, but you can add those accounts, select your accounts, write content, add image, schedule and post.
Mm-hmm.
We made this product very simple to use, that it is very easy to understand. The learning curve is just less than 1 minute, that if you go to the product, you will really understand the product. Like, it will be simple to use and it's very powerful. And let me just, I'll
And
share the differences of what I have.
little hint for you guys: we're launching Social Champ on 17th, so stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Yeah, it's like hint that don't buy right now. Wait for 17. Okay. All right. So ninth point: be consistent on social media. So when you're posting on social media, people say that, you know what, I want to just focus on Twitter. I would just want to focus on Facebook. Or I just want to focus on Instagram. I just don't get it. If you have all the social media platforms that don't ask you for money to post, why don't you just spray on all platforms?
Mhm.
Why just you don't post on Pinterest, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, right? Be consistent then, okay? If you have a profile picture, try to have one profile picture on all the platforms, okay?
Mhm.
Just don't have a different picture on LinkedIn, don't have a different picture on LinkedIn so people don't recognize you, right? Fix your cover picture. It should be a good story about yourself. Don't have a picture of you with a dog. Don't have a picture of of a doll, how you like a doll, or of a cartoon character. It should be front face with of your picture. It looks more professional.
Yes.
um, on Facebook, put job details. I know you put job details on LinkedIn. Try to put that some details on Facebook also, so that people actually can see what you do on Facebook. There's a feature called Discover on Facebook, where actually you can, let's say, if you're going to attend an event on Facebook, you can actually see who's attending that event. So what I do is that whenever I have to attend an event, let's say it's happening, or conference is happening, right? I actually go to Discover feature and see all the people who are actually attending that event. And Discover will actually, it's like a Tinder with a lot of details, okay? So
Mhm.
actually you can see who is attending the event, and you can actually network before the event. So when you go to the event, you actually know who you have to meet in the event. It's not
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
you're just puzzled up and looking for people on the event. So you have to be more prepared.
I see. I see. Samir, I you said something I don't fully agree with.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
said that
awesome.
you should be posting on all social media, sprayed everywhere, and I think that all the content should be native to a platform you're posting it, right? That you shouldn't be posting the same picture on LinkedIn that you're posting on Instagram. I mean, the message can be same, but the format and the messaging around it and the way you put it should be more native to the platform. So wouldn't you agree?
I agree with that. I agree with that. For me, you have to spray smartly, I think. I just want to cover the excuse of people not going to Instagram just because they say that, my audience is not on Instagram, they're just on Twitter.
Yeah.
I hear this a lot. People say, I'm not on Twitter. Why are you not on Twitter? Because my audience does not stay on Twitter. They're on Instagram. They might be they would, it makes sense for that, right? It could be possible. But what if their audience is on Instagram, right? What if their audience is on Twitter, right? It just takes you a few seconds, a few minutes to do it. So again, you have to really make the content based on each software platform, which I agree with you. For Instagram, you have to fix the picture. For Pinterest, you have to make infographics. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. For Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, you can have same picture because they are more proportional to what they post, right? But Instagram is a different beast. Pinterest is different, and Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn is different, right? But people say that, but I'm just against the excuse of people of not posting to the platforms
Yes.
and just being lazy. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what I mean.
if it takes just I don't know a few minutes to change the content on different social media, there's not literally no reason to not to post it. So yeah, I agree. All right, we have a question from Kiran. Does Social Champ allow us to schedule in Google Business? We are promoting for a client every day and results are amazing.
Awesome. Good to validate it first that, you know, it works, Google My Business. And we have plans to we have the API of Google My Business. We should be doing that in Social Champ in 2 to 3 weeks. We have the API. So Social Champ will support it. We're just, you know, we're just implementing that.
Perfect.
Yep. Cool. So the last point, which is how to be a heroic personality. This is for you, Jacob. Now tell me, if you want to be a heroic personality on social media, for the listeners, for the viewers, what do you think is the most important thing to be a very heroic personality, like to be the champion on social media, that people look up to you, that think that, you know what, this brand or this person is I have to follow him because whatever he shares, whatever he does, it's so credible that he will never cheat, he will never be fake. You know, this is super authentic. So what is that one thing that you need to be on social media?
I think it's not one thing, it's a combination of many things.
Yep.
But what I want to like point out is that on social media, people are not showing their flaws, their character flaws. They're showing only the best part of them,
Yeah.
which actually makes them less human because we connect on both sides, like on the good sides, but more on the things that are maybe not so perfect about us. And in the age of social media and Instagram and fake lips and fake butts and fake everything, I mean, it's really cool to show something real, but it's just one of the like big parts of it. Then I think you need to have like strong opinion on something what you believe and to really stand your ground. And if somebody doesn't agree with you, it's okay. Nobody has to agree with you, but you need to stay your ground. I mean, look at Donald Trump. I mean, people hate him, and they talk about him more than people who love him. So, so I think, as weird as it sounds, it's good to like have haters because of your actions or your values, maybe. Because on the other hand, you will have followers as well. So
Yep. That's
yeah,
good.
I think these are the things. And we have comment from Somia: transparency and commitment. Yeah, I think totally being transparent of
Yeah.
what you do and being actually committed to it for a long time. It makes total sense. Yeah.
Agreed. So I really agree with what you said. And I think it's the one thing is that you need to be more human to be an authentic personality. And to be a human being, what you said is that a human being consists of mistakes, failures, success, achievements, everything, right? If you just talk about all the success and everything that you've achieved, then you might just you might just sound very fake to people. And let's say even if people do not find you fake, you know, you will actually make people have a concept which is called FOMO, which is fear of missing out. Like if you just keep on sharing that you're having a good life, you're on a beach
Yes.
working with a laptop, you know, on a beach. I don't know how people do it, but if you're on a beach with a laptop, you know, you're just always, you know, with celebrities, you know, it kind of puts despair into other people, and they might just hate their life because they do not know that you're actually living, that's just 10% of your life in
Yes.
which you're just showing 10%, right? So to be
Exactly.
more human, brands have to tell about something, a recipe that they made, but it didn't work out. People didn't like it, you know. The salt somehow went high on eggs they made, right? Or let's say I talk about my startups that didn't work out, you know, what lessons I learned from it, and I'm proud of it, right? So to just understand, on social media, you have a human that you created. Now you need to feed that human with, you need to put, that human needs to talk about success, that human needs to talk about failures, that human needs to talk about opinions, like you said. I don't like this. I like day. I don't like night. But it's okay if you don't like night. People like night. It's very okay to like something. So I think I agree with that. You totally got it. You need to be way more human, have empathy, be more empathic, and you don't have to hate people who don't like your opinions.
Yes.
Everybody's free to opinions. And you know what? In short, don't worry about gaming algorithms. I talked about a lot about algorithms, how you can game it. But if your product, if your content is worth bookmarking, if you create good content, you don't have to worry about a lot of, how you can gamify it. And that puts me to the end of the talk, which is, if you like the talk, just tweet on Instagram, on Twitter, that like the talk. And yep, that's it. And again, to your question, which you asked, why would you choose Social Champ, right? So these are all the tools that are on the market: Hootsuite, Buffer, Socials, and Sprout Social, Agora, Pulse, Edgar. Now, Hootsuite, it's complex, confusing. There's no repeats. There's no content suggestions. Buffer, no repeats. It's kind of expensive. There's no bulk upload like in Buffer. Edgar, the company is based on recycling feature. It doesn't do it's good for recycling content. PitchGround is good for auto posting RSS. Doesn't have bulk upload. So what we did is that we chose the best features from all these products. Okay, made it very simple to use, put it in Social Champ, and so that you could use this product. So we have the most important features. We don't have features that people don't need. So we have chosen the best features.
I love it.
Made it very simple to use, decrease the pricing so that people can afford it, and they can save time, save time in a day, save money. Time is more valuable. 15 minutes it would take for Social Champ. If you just choose, let's say 2-3 products to make your things work out, it would cost you a lot of time. So I think that is what is about Social Champ.
Makes total sense. We will talk about it in upcoming webinars more.
Yep.
And on a side note, Samir, have you ever tried to work with laptop on beach? It's horrible.
I can't imagine, the second man going into keyboard.
No, I mean, like all the like people on Instagram are promoting this laptop lifestyle, sitting on a beach, but it's hot. I mean, it's hot. There's sand everywhere. It's not a good place to work.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I never tried it, but in my imagination, I just get goosebumps. How could they work? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to point out the one thing you said as well, that showing flaws, of course. And I'm pretty sure that you are familiar with the concept "document, don't create" by Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
That you are basically documenting more like your company building or your personal brand, what you're working on, rather than I will sit now and create content, right? So you just walk and you create content like this, and that's your content for the day, and you do it multiple times, and it's more authentic because you just don't have time to make it all shiny and stuff. So I would maybe think about this strategy as well: document versus create. All right. Anyway, let me share my screen really quickly because we have a lot of webinars coming up too in the next day. So guys, this thing is called Free 7-Day Social Media Academy. It should be bootcamp. Anyway, it's a bootcamp or academy. Anyway, you are learning a lot of stuff with Social Champ founder Samir Khan, and we are doing webinars today, tomorrow, and on Friday, and we are doing webinars next week as well. And today's webinar was "You are doing social media wrong," but we shared tips which were sort of like why you were doing social media wrong, but I believe that they helped you a lot because they were quite interesting. You can watch the replay, don't worry. And tomorrow we are talking on this topic: get your initial social media traction with friends and family. Because friends and family are the best place to start when you when you are building your new page or you wanna grow your page. And as Samir mentioned today, not a lot of people are actually using, for example, live feature that you can go live with a friend and everybody in your network and in the network of your friend will see it. So we will talk about strategies like this tomorrow. On Friday 13th, oh, it's a funny date, we are talking about the new social media in 2019, community building 101. We'll share some tips about how we are building PitchGround and so on, and why it's important to create community around your brand, and how to leverage it. And on Monday, on September 16th, Udit Wenka, PitchGround CEO, will be joining us, and we'll be talking about something which is a little bit more technical, but it will be filled with actionable steps. And this is the strategy we are actually using with all the Facebook Lives we are doing, with majority of them. So when I went to Sicily to meet founders of SEO Tester Online, we did a live video there. And then we use this video to run ads towards it, and of course to make conversions. So Udit and Samir will cover this strategy on how to do it. It's going to be pretty interesting growth hack. Not so many people are doing it. So if you're in Facebook Live and Facebook ads, this one is for you. And if not, this one is for you as well, because you should be using it. September 17th. It's Social Champ Launch Day. Yay, we'll be launching Social Champ. So if you wanna do basically everything Samir just told you, for one lifetime price, you need to join on September 17th, because we'll be showing the whole platform, how it all works. You can ask questions about this, about the platform specifics, and it's gonna be quite interesting. And then we continue on September 18th, how to create value-driven content and post consistently to increase sales. Because consistency is something when most people will fail when it comes to social media. So we will share tips and tricks how to do it, so you will actually be posting for a long time. And then last webinar, how to scale social media and hit your first 10,000. Because, I mean, everybody's posting nice pictures, but just a handful of people are making money with social media as well. So we'll cover it on September 19th. So guys, if you like it, share it with your friends. You can do it on socialchamp.pitchground.com, and they will see this page where they will just register, and that's it. It's socialchamp.pitchground.com. And that's pretty much it. Make sure you will join tomorrow, where we will cover how to get your initial social media attractions with friends and family. Samir, is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
Awesome. I think we are done with the day. If you have any questions, they can ask. Yep.
We have a comment from Yakin. I received my LinkedIn data.
Okay, that's cool.
That's perfect. Yeah, so Yakin used the strategy Samir described on how you can get all the data from all the people you have on your LinkedIn. So it's going to be pretty cool. So if you want to use LinkedIn, make sure you rewatch this webinar and follow the strategy. But email only 50 out of 5,100 connections. Maybe it's some limitations there. Do you see the question? I think we need to answer it. This is a really good question. All right, so for everybody who's still watching, we have a really good question on Zoom from, I don't see the full name, Lorgan Gerard McBanty. McBanty. Okay, sorry, I messed up your name. Why is your hair like a superhero hair?
I have no idea. Like, these are just natural, to be very honest.
These are natural. I wanted to ask, but yeah. I felt bad. Should I ask? Are you 70 or something? But no.
No. My hair color really helps me out. When I'm with the old guys in an investor meeting, they think I'm one of them. Like
I see. Yeah, I mean, look at me. I'm 25. I still look like 16. I don't have a beard. I was always jealous of my classmates when they had beard like at age of 17. I still have like this little virgin mustache, but that's it.
Yeah, you look good. You look awesome.
Nah, thanks.
They just started converting in 20s. They started converting. So.
Yeah. All right. On a more serious note, we have a last question. I believe it's the last. I didn't see any other question. I will check Facebook as well. Meanwhile, please answer it from Kiran. Can we schedule images and videos through Social Champ for Instagram?
You can schedule images, but scheduling it will not directly post to Instagram right now because we are in talks with Facebook to get the API to directly post. So what we do is we have apps that actually you can schedule from the web, and you will get the image and the caption in the app. And when time comes to post, you automatically the image gets downloaded. You have to just manually hit the post button,
Mm-hmm.
but that's one step you have to do manually. But you can schedule content, just the images actually right now.
Okay. Okay. So will it be actually possible, do you think, in the future that it will be auto-posted?
Yeah, it is 100%, 100%. We have a guy who's trying in Facebook to get us the API, and Facebook is gonna, it's in beta right now. The API, which is to some limited partners, Facebook is going to roll out to other partners, and possibly we'll get that API. So it is
Mm.
something working on. It's the top priority for us right now.
Is like Instagram so restrictive with the API?
So basically, Instagram never had an API where actually you could directly post on Instagram. So
Mm.
they just created it right now, and they are just testing it with some limited partners. It's like there are some limited partners who have the API, so they're testing it with them. Once I think Instagram figures out, the rules and regulations for posting, then it's going to open to a lot of people so that they can control spamming. Because once they open this, people are going to spam on Instagram more rapidly than they do right now.
I see. I see. Makes total sense. But it's perfect that you're working on it. I believe it's a quite requested
Yeah,
feature.
yeah.
All right, everybody. I think it's slowly time to wrap it up. We are talking for almost an hour. So thanks again, everyone, for joining. Make sure you will join tomorrow as well. It was quite crowd here, so on Facebook too. So please, guys, join tomorrow. It's gonna be even more awesome, and we'll be there with Samir as again. So it's gonna be quite cool. So thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thanks, Jacob. See you.
All right,
Have a
see
good
you.
day. Bye-bye.